Look at the lines. Precise, orderly, geometric. This is how archaeology usually presents the past to us. A fragment of the massive marble map of Rome. It's clean, it's logical, it implies a civilization of perfect order. And it is a lie. This stone is silent. It doesn't capture the stench that would knock a modern human flat on their back. It doesn't show you the human waste slicking the cobblestones, or the sprawling, leaning timbered death traps stacked 60 feet into the air, blocking out the sun. It hides the chaotic, sprawling, suffocating reality of a million souls crammed into a space meant for half that number. This map is a sanitized fantasy. We need to break the stone. No time machine needed. This is the true face of Rome, AD 320. Welcome to the Subura. We are only a few hundred yards from the gleaming white marble of the imperial forums, but we might as well be on a different planet. The first thing that hits you, the thing the history books sanitize, is the smell. It is a physical weight in the air, a primordial soup of ammonia, rotting vegetable matter, rancid cooking grease, and the output of a million human bodies that have nowhere else to go but the street. Look at the ground. You aren't walking on paving stones. You are walking on layers of compacted filth. There is no municipal garbage collection here. You throw it out the window and you let gravity do the rest. If you're lucky, a rainstorm washes some of it into the Cloaca Maxima down the hill. If you aren't, it just festers in the summer heat, breeding clouds of flies so thick you breathe them in. Stop and look up. This is where they live, the insulae. These aren't apartment blocks, they are vertical human hives, thrown together by slumlords trying to squeeze every last denarius out of a square foot of land. 5, 6, sometimes 7 stories of cheap timber waiting for a spark. It is a rigorous social hierarchy based on altitude. The ground floor might be masonry, a shop, a tavern, relatively safe. But the higher you climb, the cheaper the rent and the deadlier the living conditions. Up there, in the attic spaces, whole families are crammed into single, windowless rooms. They cook over open braziers on wooden floors. When these places catch fire, and they always catch fire, the people at the top have nowhere to go. They burn where they jump. The noise is an assault. There is no conception of personal space here. To move is to shove. You are constantly rubbing shoulders with thieves, prostitutes, day laborers, and runaway slaves, all hustling for their daily bread. Look at their faces. This isn't the noble Roman citizen in a white toga you see in statues. These are people living on the razor's edge of subsistence. The grain dole, the free bread provided by the emperor, is the only thing keeping half these people from starving to death this week. It is a pressure cooker of humanity, simmering with disease, crime, and desperate energy. But there's something else in the air here in AD 320. Something worse than the smell. It's the feeling of an ending. These people don't know it yet, but the party is over. The empire is staggering under the weight of economic collapse and endless civil wars. Emperor Constantine is already looking east, building his new capital, Constantinople. He's taking the money, the power, and the future with him. This Rome, this sprawling, magnificent, horrifying city, is being left behind. It is slowly transforming into a massive, hollowed-out museum, waiting for the barbarians, who are already testing the northern frontiers, to come and kick in the rotting doors. Today, the Subura is the fashionable Monte district, where that beggar sat in the mud, Tourists now drink Aperol spritzes and take selfies, oblivious to the layers of human misery buried beneath their feet by centuries of dirt and time. It's a comforting image, but when you strip away the technology, our own sprawling cities are just as fragile. We are all just one major supply chain collapse, one prolonged blackout away from the mud rising back up to meet us.